For years, I have been talking about the inequity of the U.S. Senate. How you can have a state like Alaska that has under a million residents. I think it still has under a million residents, and it gets two senators, and then the 40 million people of California get two senators. And I've had arguments for 4 years on this app with people on the right about, oh, well, that's how it was set up by our founding fathers. Yeah, I understand. Our founding fathers also said that black people were 3/5 of a human being and women couldn't have the right to vote their own land. So let's not pretend like everything a bunch of goat fucking settlers did was the be all end all. Okay? But it, I've been trying to explain how systems, antiquated systems like that, allow a minority to have more of a say than they should be allowed to have at the table. And ironically enough, my friend Chris here, I'm going to show you a video, is he's going to explain how those antiquated systems, how those antiquated programs allow red Republican states to be the DEI states of the United States of America. Watch this video.
Because he's such a fat slob DEI product of Harvard.
That is crazy. Okay, folks on the left have allowed conservatives to run rampant with their hatred of DEI without accurately pointing out the fact that most of Republican power in this country comes from DEI programs that are enshrined in our Constitution. The Senate is a good example. You have a place like Wyoming that has less people in it than Brooklyn. California has 70 times the amount of citizens as Wyoming, but they get two senators. Right? And California gets two senators. And when the 100 senators sit down there and make decisions, those two at Wyoming have just as much say as the two in California, right? So when we talk about the Senate being split, half Republicans and half Democrats, that half Republicans is not representing half of America. They're representing a way smaller, but they have a bigger say than they otherwise would because of the DEI program that is how we elect senators. It gives outsized power to otherwise underrepresented populations. The electoral college system is another good example. We wouldn't have had a Republican president in my entire lifetime outside of Bush winning in 2004, and that one was contentious, if it were not for the electoral college system and how it protects these small Republican states and gives them electoral college votes when they have, like, sometimes less people in them than, like, Chicago. This is the city of Chicago. And they're even intimately familiar with the way that they falsely describe DEI programs because they access some of this. They describe DEI programs as things that allow people to just get a free ride. They're not. But even if they were, is that so bad? Because Republican states get a free ride in the American economy. Blue counties drive America's economic output. Do you see what is on screen? This is insane. Also, 7 of the top 10 most dependent states in America when it comes to receiving welfare are Republican states. Most of the states that are donor states, those are states that pay more in taxes than they receive in aid from the government, are Democratic states. They're benefiting off of blue industries that pay more in taxes than they receive from the federal government. Red states don't even dominate the parts of the economy that they're supposed to. 6 out of the 10 best manufacturing states in America are blue states. We get about $2.9 trillion from manufacturing to our GDP. Half of that is coming from blue states. What about farming? We wouldn't have agriculture without the red states. Also not true. California leads the country in agriculture. California has more agricultural output than Missouri, Indiana, and Kansas combined, and takes less farmer subsidies to do it. This is not even a question about who's getting a free ride in this country, and Democrats need to be better at making that case.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, 2 of the biggest ag receipt producing states are blue, California and New Jersey. People don't understand how much agriculture is in New Jersey, as well as Illinois. We are a huge ag receipt state here as well. So he's absolutely correct. He nailed all of that. I want to go all the way back to, and it's what I've been trying to say. He just says it better. I want to go all the way back to what the woman in the beginning says, where she's referring to somebody as a fat DEI product of Harvard. Who would that be? Ted Cruz? Ted Cruz actually went to 2 Ivy League schools. He graduated from Princeton in '92 with a Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. I didn't think they liked the arts. I know, I'm fucking around. I understand what Bachelor of Arts means, but a lot of MAGA don't. And after Princeton, he attended Harvard Law School. So Ted Cruz is a product of Harvard, and only because she likes to make fun of people's weight. He hasn't exactly been the slimmest of champs throughout his years. And he's of Cuban descent, something that is not really represented, minorities in general, within the Republican Party very well. Very few minorities. So the fat DEI product of Harvard that I see is Ted Cruz.